Hello again and welcome back to Illegally Cited. This is Jesse and I am back for another unique game accessibility video because we are going to be taking a look at some footage and some accessibility features for Star Wars Outlaws. This is the Ubisoft game that is coming out later this year, August 30th to be exact. That is the current release date, and it's looking pretty cool. It's kind of it's a third-person action, kind of a role-playing game type of deal. Gives me a lot of Mass Effect vibes, but there's even more to it than that. You have you have on foot like shooting, you have stealth sections, you have flying in a spaceship, you have like spaceship dogfighting. You're wandering around towns doing quests and all kinds of stuff. So I imagine this is going to be a pretty long and in-depth game. So before I go any further, I want to thank Ubisoft for inviting me to their recent preview event, their remote preview event. Now, I did not get to play the game, but we got to see quite a bit of extended gameplay footage of some quests, some environments, some action, some stealth, and a little bit of everything in between, a little bit of spaceship combat. And so I'm going to be able to talk over some footage of those. But before I show you some gameplay, I do have a website up right now, and I have NVDA running. One thing I really like that Ubisoft is doing recently is they're trying to get out there well ahead of the game's launch and announce accessibility features. Again, just like, oh, look at how many ships we have, look at how many weapons and enemies and levels and whatever. In addition to all the normal hype, they're really trying to get out there and offer up information on the accessibility features that are going to be in the game. And this is several months. This has been out for probably at least like a month or better already. So several months ahead of the end of August launch, you should have a pretty good idea as to whether you might be able to play this game or not. So I am very much looking forward to it, especially considering a lot of the accessibility features listed here. And we're gonna zip through them. I will put a link to this article in the description of this video because there's actually an interview with the Ubisoft creators about the game's accessibility that you can read. But we're just going to go through the accessibility features list, which they have divided into categories here. And just we're going to zip through them, and I'll comment on a few of them that I think will be especially helpful for blind and low vision players.
Options for that too.
So
accessibility features list.
Accessibility features list. One suggestion for this type of article, it would be really nice if this was actually a heading. And they have it divided into different categories as well, and so those should also be headings, like a lower, you have H2 maybe, or an H3, or an H3, H4. Just a suggestion, it would make it a lot easier to jump around with the screen reader. But let's go down.
Visuals.
Visuals, and again, I'm just going to have it read through some of these.
List with 4 items. High contrast settings, remove all color from the background, apply colors to important gameplay. Elements, e.g., ally, hostile aware unaware, interactable, climbable surfaces, and with a choice of colors and transparency.
So that is awesome. High contrast modes, backgrounds, obstacles, enemies, climbing points. That's great.
Colorblind accessible by design wherever possible.
Okay, colorblind accessible by design.
Visual intensity configurable through a range of settings, including screen shake, depth of field, motion blur, general, camera, and per object, and chromatic aberration.
So these are a lot of settings that you also have in recent years, a lot of visual settings that you can enable or disable if that causes trouble.
View angle, FOV, configurable separately for default and while aiming.
Good, FOV and camera angles for aiming and regular movement.
Out of list audio.
So we got audio settings here.
List with 8 items. No audio reliance. Important information is communicated by other channels in addition to sound.
That's great for hard of hearing.
Subtitles for dialogue and background chatter, with speaker names and optional directional arrows.
Awesome, directional even.
And configurable size, background, and colors.
A lot of subtitle configuration as well.
Configurable dynamic range for control over the volume difference between loudest and quietest.
That's cool. Kind of a normalization so you don't have really, really quiet and then really, really loud sections. I really kind of like that.
Sounds. Choice of audio channels, stereo, 5.1, 7.1, 7.1.4, support for Atmos overhead speakers.
Would like to see a specific headphone option. Even binaural audio would be cool there.
Separate volume sliders for master, music, effects, voice, cinematics, controller, and menu.
Lot of volume sliders, that's great.
Narration. Dynamic audio mix with rules to ensure there are not too many sounds playing at once. For example, by removing lower priority sounds from the mix when in cinematics or during dialogue, and enemy weapon sounds prioritized based on threat level, and audio level drop off for persistent sounds.
I don't know if I've seen a setting like this before, or if I have, it hasn't been described this well, but it sounds really cool. Like if you're, if you're hard of hearing or you want to zone in on a certain type of sound effect so you hear it more clearly, like dialogue, or a certain type of sound, like so you can dodge a certain enemy attack or whatever. That's a really cool feature. I'm curious to play with that one.
Such as speeder and ship engines. Audio descriptions for cinematics, and optional
Audio
narrated
descriptions
voiceover
for
describing what is happening.
cinematics. Yay! And it's only in English though.
Visually, English language only.
Yep.
Positional audio cues showing the direction of nearby discovery opportunities, such as loot or side quests.
So that is going to be helpful. Loot and side quest audio cues, that is going to very much help blind and low vision players, for sure.
Out of list controls.
Control settings.
List with 13 items. Auto walk to keep moving forward until a button is pressed.
Okay, auto walk.
PC supports keyboard, mouse, controller, and virtual keyboard via windowed mode.
Okay, good combination there.
Keyboard mouse remapping.
Yep, awesome.
Controller presets.
Controller presets, so not full remapping, but you do have some presets. I know that some people really have very specific control needs, and so it's kind of a bummer that it's not full configuration. But hey, you know what? At least they do think of customizing the controls to a degree. Hopefully they have a lot of different options for that.
Sensitivity individually adjustable across mouse, controller, camera look, hip firing, speeder, and ship.
Okay, a lot of different adjustments there for sensitivity.
Camera inversion across X and Y axis, configurable separately for on foot, speeder, and ship.
Okay, so you have different inversion controls there.
Configurable dead zones, both inner and outer for both sticks.
Okay, dead zone control.
Adaptive trigger intensity, dual sense only.
Okay, dual sense customization controls there for your triggers.
Motion aiming, dual sense only. Aim using
Motion
the controller's
controls if you
gyroscope.
want to do that.
Sensitivity, smoothing strength, and aim option to use roll
On
for
dual
horizontal look.
sense.
Auto align camera to horizon and movement direction.
Okay.
Toggle sprint.
Toggle sprint.
Fine control over vibration strength, with sliders for each type of information, e.g. weapons.
Okay.
Melee, nix, damage.
That's really cool.
Fine control over vibration strength.
Fine control over
melee.
vibrations for all kinds of different types of gameplay.
Change holds to presses, an overall setting that affects a wide range of gameplay holds.
Toggles and holds combo, or toggle and hold
Out of list
customizations.
stealth combat.
And we got a whole section on stealth combat here.
List with 8 items, multiple difficulty presets with an extremely forgiving story setting.
So that is cool, especially just for stealth difficulty, combat difficulty, and a lot of different
Individual difficulty
customization there.
set. Individual difficulty settings for enemy difficulty, player health, and wanted difficulty.
So that I really like. Again, it's not just easy, normal, hard. You can customize specific things that you want to be harder or easier, whatever you have trouble with, whatever you're good at.
Aim assist toggle, strong by default.
Okay, very good.
Option to hold rather than repeatedly press to fire blaster.
Okay, that's good.
Different playstyles supported through unlockable blaster fire modes.
Okay,
Adrenaline rush feature to allow targeting of enemies with low precision and time pressure.
so that's kind of bullet time, I believe, is what that is alluding to,
Auto perfect reloading
or
option.
slow-mo.
Auto perfect reloading option.
So there's kind of a mini game for perfect reloading. Think about the Gears of War, where you could do the active reloading. You can basically make that perfect if you want.
Stealth assists, threat sense, awareness icons, and visualization of enemy footsteps, on by default,
That's pretty cool. Extra assist for stealth
but
there,
can be turned off.
but can be turned off. Yep.
Out of list navigation traversal.
Navigation traversal. Here we go. I'm also curious.
List with 7 items. Fast travel between discovered locations.
Okay, fast travel.
Safe climbing, not possible to accidentally fall.
That is going to be helpful for low vision or low vision and blindness, because again, even for me, it's hard to judge depth. Sometimes, can I make this jump? Can I grab this ledge? Is this where I'm supposed to go? And it'll kind of prevent some of those accidental deaths and potentially having to go back several minutes to repeat something just because I did something stupid or misjudged something.
Auto ledge grab, with no overly long distances to jump.
Okay. Oh, okay. Auto ledge grab. That's also good.
Straightforward grappling with large hit areas and auto dismount.
Okay. Easier grappling in that.
Auto object avoidance and ledge guard on foot and speeder. Auto object avoidance and ledge guard on foot and speeder.
Okay. Ledge guard and obstacle avoidance. Again, you combine that with like hearing what your having your audio cues and all this customization. This is looking more and more like it might be playable without sighted assistance.
Health regeneration for environmental speeder damage.
Health regeneration for speeder, yep.
In-world map markers can be toggled on permanently.
That I love because how many times have I said I hate mini maps, I hate little compasses that are all tucked away in the corner. Having in-world navigation for waypoints and stuff and quest markers in the world themselves, keep them on at all times. Liking that idea.
Out of list space. List with 7 items. Damage from colliding with objects can be...
Oh, space, yeah. So we do, as I said, we have some space combat, which we'll see in a little bit.
List with 7 items. Damage from colliding with objects can be turned off.
Again, very helpful if you're blind and flying a ship. You don't have to take damage when you run into an asteroid. You just bounce right off of it.
Stuns from ion weapons can be turned off.
Stuns can be turned off.
Self-righting to automatically bring ship back to the horizon.
Kind of an self-righting auto orientation there. That'll be good.
Incremental throttle. Tap up down instead of holding.
Okay, that's fine.
Choice between hold or toggle for speed boost and shooting.
Hold and toggles.
Flexible combat style including strong aim assist and pursuit mode to adjust view and speed to.
Assist mode and pursuit mode. That I am especially intrigued about because I've tried, airplane flying games, spaceship flying games, and I love the idea of them, especially if they're rather arcadey. But I have so much trouble because it's not just like you're on foot. Are they right in front of me, or are they on a ledge above? They could be anywhere 360 degrees above, below, behind, any angle, and trying to keep track of a tiny flying spaceship can be very hard. So having that pursuit mode, I will be more than likely taking advantage of that one.
Follow targets. Motion sickness considerations through design of enemy maneuvers and speed adjustments.
That's cool. Motion sickness stuff, that's good they consider that.
Out of list minigames.
Minigames.
List with 1 item in minigame. Individual difficulty settings for the timing, precision, and level of visual assistance for each minigame.
So each minigame, not just minigames overall, but each minigame has its own customization and skill option. That's awesome.
Out of list Nix. List with 2 out of list
Now Nix, this is your little alien buddy. You'll see him in the video. He's really cool because you can have him collect stuff. You can have him distract enemies for you. All kinds of different things. So he's a cool little buddy.
List with 2 items. Additional vocal and visual cues from Nix for nearby enemies, loot, etc.
Okay.
Nix orders allow automated interaction, pickpocketing, attacking, and picking up, including during stealth, through large low-precision target areas.
That's so cool. You can have him pickpocket or distract or whatever. That's great.
Out of list menus HUD.
Menus and HUD.
List with 10 items. Accessibility presets for finding and turning on common combinations of accessibility settings.
Accessibility presets. We've seen these quite a bit in some recent games, and I'm glad it's here. You don't have to worry about customizing every little setting. You can start with, let's say, oh, I'm a visually impaired user. Let's start with all these, and then I can further tune it from there. That's great.
Menu narration for menus and HUD including HUD readout of distance and compass direction to current. Objective with configurable speed, voice, volume, and which elements to read out.
Now that last part there, that is what's key. We have menu narration for menus and stuff. That's great. But listen to this again.
Menu narration for menus and HUD including HUD readout of distance and compass direction to current.
Distance and compass, direction and layout.
Objective with configurable speed, voice, volume, and which elements to read out.
And which elements to read out. See, it looks like you're going to have speech customization and what you do and don't want to hear. That's fantastic.
Color blindness presets to adjust the colors of interface
Color
and gameplay elements that
presets.
use colors. Usually alongside other methods to communicate
Alongside
information.
other methods, not just using color to differentiate things.
Clear default fonts.
Clear default, that's great.
Larger and smaller text options.
Large text options is good. I'm curious how large it'll get.
Replace stylized titles with regular font.
Stylized titles, so stylized fonts, again, making them more readable as an option. That's very much appreciated.
Increased contrast option for higher contrast background and colors.
Okay, that's good. Contrast is always great.
Replace holds with taps across the interface.
Taps and holds.
Control reminders of some important controls directly on the HUD.
That can be really helpful, especially if you put the game down for a while and come back and you're like, I don't remember how to do that move. So contextually it can give you some hints. That's welcome.
Configurable HUD with control over how often elements are shown, whether to show compass, map, orientation, center dot size, and whether to add a plain contrasting background behind all HUD.
A lot of HUD customization. I like even the ability to have a solid color behind the HUD element so it's not transparent against the environment. That's awesome.
Elements. Out of list link Star Wars Outlaws is launching on Xbox.
Okay, so that is your accessibility features currently for Star Wars Outlaws. I will again put a link in the to this article in the description below. But we're going to watch a couple of bits of gameplay. Again, I don't know. I did not see anywhere that we couldn't necessarily play all of them or how long we can play a video. But we're going to play at least a couple of these. So you can kind of see, we're going to play this one, has a few different mission types in there. So you're going to get to see some stealth. You're going to get to see some combat. And let's just get into it here. I'll start the video. Uh-oh.
I understand.
Hold on, I did that wrong. Okay, let me... There we go.
I understand increasing our credit flow, but is the risk really worth it?
You could always request a transfer.
I've considered it.
So we're eavesdropping on a couple of people there. We got our little Nix buddy down there.
Thornton makes it very difficult to leave.
Hiding behind a crate.
Got something, bud?
The little chittering is our Nix buddy. Nix. Okay, it looks like we're issuing commands or something.
Time to distract them.
I hope that those UI things are voiced as well with narration, text-to-speech. Yes. Hey, Nixie.
Go! Get!
Nah. Stealth kill. Bye-bye, Stormtrooper.
Lights out.
Yep. Doesn't look like you have to hide bodies. Or I don't know if you can or not. I like the stealth music. We're in definitely like an Imperial type of building. It just has that look to it. Well, Empire. Got a terminal over there. Got a couple dudes over there by a window in the terminals. Stunned that guy with an electric shocker in the other corner. We're sneaking up behind him. Nix distracts one of them.
Come on, buddy.
Yep. So we took out the other one, and then since Nix had the one distracted, now we can come up and stealth kill him.
With all those troopers.
Yep. So now we're trying to open a. Okay. So we got a hacking mini game. Not quite sure, but look at the highlighting of it is actually pretty good. Like the dim versus the light highlight, that stands out contrast-wise pretty good.
Okay.
I just have to figure out how it's played.
Oh, biological sample to be shipped. That should work. Let's
Okay.
get back to the ship.
Oh yeah, okay, we made him mad. We're not going stealthy anymore. And I think it's going to cut to some combat here pretty soon. Yep. I remember seeing this. This is some of the footage that I got to see earlier, but this is we're using this as kind of B-roll that I can talk over. So we got a little mini locking mini game, and it seems sort of like not quite like a Skyrim, but you're lining up certain things. I'm not quite sure how it works.
Let us in.
Us? Who's us?
Just open the ramp.
So third-person shooter, hiding behind cover a lot. I will say they didn't mention anything about the crosshair.
Through this, you'll get that thing open.
It's not my fault. I told you she wasn't ready.
I hope
Figure it out.
that they offer crosshair options, because that is kind of hard to see right now.
There's a lot of
It's
troopers out
small, and it's the ship background is light, and so is the crosshair, so it can be a little tough. You know, if I was playing this with keyboard and mouse, I know you have sort of aim assist when you're using a controller, but I don't think that usually applies to keyboard and mouse. So yeah, I mean, that crosshair is that definitely needs some work. I hope that you can customize that.
Get that cargo on board.
Taking out some more dudes. This looks fun. Yeah, okay, so now we got a cutscene going into the ship.
No, that was our way out.
Then we'll make another one.
Okay, this is neat. So it's going to transition from we're on foot combat to a cutscene, and now we're going to be basically flying out. You get to see some dog fighting, and this is where that pursuit cam is going to be really good.
We're out. We're good.
Not yet, we aren't. Ties are still on us.
All right.
We need to get away from this
So
station.
TIE fighters.
Ties hate it in there.
So look, you got all these effects and like, you got a big old like light area in the middle of the screen there. Asteroids,
Right. Okay. Guess
kind of
we'll
dust
take out these
particles,
ties first.
planet. And you see the little indicator above the enemy there before he blew up. Yeah, the chase cam, the pursuit cam I'm so going to be making use of this. Because it's really hard for me to keep track of dudes in 3D space. Like this. Another, yep, another TIE fighter dead. Oh, another. I wonder if there's a first-person spaceship cockpit view. One more. Come on, get him. There you go. Come on. Yeah, see, when it's against a planet like that, it's really harder to see.
We've lost them.
Harder to see that way. So, okay. So we are flying now. Got our boosting. And yeah, those objective markers are a little small. I hope those can be embiggened a little bit
Okay. Are we good?
to make them stand out better. Okay. And I think, yeah, it looks like we're going to go down right to the surface here. Kind of zooms into a little cutscene going down from space through the clouds. Really nice presentation. This looks really good. Audio is great. A lot of clouds. And now we're down, yeah. Now we're down toward the surface. And we're coming in for a landing. Cutscene.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah, this is the longest video of them all, I
I'll be back
think.
soon. And don't trash the place, Bosnock.
So now we get to see, I believe, if I remember correctly, a little bit of dialogue. I think we're going to talk to our ship mechanic pretty soon, if I remember correctly. So again, this reminds me of Mass Effect, something fierce, in a way. And I love the idea of just wandering around these big environments.
I'm a little busy right now.
Yeah, you any good at Savak?
What? Yeah, I'm from Canto Bight.
Good. I got some high rollers looking for a challenge at McCall's. Go take their money. Huh?
Alright, some kind of mini game or something that he's probably talking about. Something like a, I don't know, a card game, dice game or something. I'm not sure. So we're still walking around this big environment, heading into a building. And look at the environmental detail, just people everywhere, conversing, things happening. You got signs and billboards around. I mean, the place looks very lived in and active. So that's cool. So no, maybe this isn't the one where you talk to the ship guy. I think... Yeah, I think we're gonna get a character dialogue here.
Sorry to interrupt, Gorak. I can see that you...
Why are you here?
Okay. Okay, so that's where it cuts off. Okay. No problem. So that is one video. Let's look at one more. Like I said, I don't know if I have restrictions. I looked a couple times. I didn't see any. But just in case... well, let's look at this one and see. So now we're on the planet in some wilderness. Okay, we're gonna
Hey, buddy.
zip line down, kind of grapple hook down. Pretty neat. Oh, this is. I think this is the one where the.
Waka, this thing is putting a pole around me.
Why do you think we stopped scrapping it? Everyone figured it wasn't worth the risk.
Except
Yeah.
you.
It's a calculated risk, Kay. And I'm good at math.
So yeah, now we're gonna get to see some traversal. We're kind of. This is like your Uncharted Tomb Raider. We got some kind of metal gratings that we're shimmying along. You know, again, a lot of third-person action games like this. Shimmying on pipes and crawling up walls and gratings and stuff like that. And again, the no-fall assist will be really helpful there. Trying to figure out where to go. All the visual indicators are high contrast. Yeah, this is a reactor thing that she's going to try to activate here. I think we'll play this video and we'll call it good. I'm kind of trying to talk over it more just in case, you know, if there's a lot of footage where I'm not talking, there'll be some stupid, like, copyright nonsense or something. Like, oh, it's footage, whatever. But more climbing. Jumping up to another grating. Alright. Not sure. Oh. Oh, okay. Shooting the kind of. Oh, it's like you're activating the. Opening the door by turning on the power with your electrical beam thingy gun. I can't think of words.
Was this the ship's reactor?
Yeah. Again, very, very nice set pieces.
Waka, I need to get power to the ship somehow. I think I'm at the reactor.
That's your best bet. It's probably a multi-step activation from bottom to top. If it works at all.
So yeah, I mean, I think between these two videos, you get to see some ship combat, you get to see some stealth, a little bit of blaster combat. We get a little traversal, and I don't know if you call it puzzle solving, but you know, your exploration and traversal here.
That should warm it up.
But yeah, I mean, everything that I've seen, you know, cutscenes and story, dialogue, and the gameplay itself, all looks really solid. We're climbing a big ladder now on the... grappled over to the center of the reactor. Now she's got to find these terminals to power it up. More climbing. Pretty straightforward so far. I'm really bad at puzzles, so I don't mind if they're pretty straightforward and simple. Puzzles make me feel stupid because I'm bad at solving them. Sorry, guys.
Okay, reactor's
Something
up.
in my throat again.
Now let's see if it'll power the rest of the ship.
Oh yeah, okay, so this... I'm curious how the audio cues
Okay, I think we gotta climb up to the top.
will work. So you have part of it active, and you're doing the climbing shimmying thing, but there are parts of it that open and shut, and so you have to time your you know, jumping to that certain part and getting across it before it closes on you, and you either get your fingers pinched or fall to your death. So hopefully there are extra audio cues to kind of help
Hey,
a blind player know when those are opening and closing. All right, jumping back down to the outer catwalks here. Or a grappling hook. Whee! There we go. Okay, we make a hard cut. I love our little Nix buddy there.
I made it.
He's cool.
Huh? Oh, yeah, perfect. Nav computer will be in the console.
Okay, yeah, I think stuff goes really bad here, if I remember correctly.
I can't
We
pry
might
this
get to see
open.
some more combat.
I think it needs authorization.
Got another big terminal thing.
All right.
Center.
Authorization granted. Just needs to grab the nav computer and...
Oh yeah, yep. They're pissed.
Those are Zarek Bash agents. How did they find us?
Okay, stealth time. God, I so badly want to look. I badly want to watch that other video too.
Right.
The first one we don't have to because it's really short. It's just a little bit of environmental footage. We'll see. So we are no longer stealthy. It's on. Some nice lighting and particle effects too. I really like the presentation of this. Feels very authentic to Star Wars, but I'm glad it's unique. It's not just retelling the same stories over and over again. And you're not always just a Jedi. I mean, Jedis are cool. Lightsabers are badass, don't get me wrong. But I like that they're doing something totally unique and different with the Star Wars game.
Next attack!
Yeah!
Something's not right about this.
Take him down,
Let's grab it and
son.
go. Now.
Love it. Okay, cutscene.
This looks like a nav computer.
Nav computer, you say?
Failed, right? If this is about Sleero's ship or the rebels, it's just a big, big misunderstanding. I don't care. Nix, run!
We're still in a cutscene here. Oh, not anymore. Alright, now we got the obligatory escape sequence. Place is falling apart. We're running, dodging rubble. Looks really good. Little slide jump action there.
Look, you got the wrong person. Zarek Besh found us. This is bad. I knew we were here too long.
Yeah, I think we will wrap it up after this video. I won't show the last couple because I don't know how much we're allowed to show, and this will definitely give you a look at the game and my thoughts on different aspects of its accessibility.
Enough. Just come quiet.
I don't know what kind of critter that Nix thing is. That's cool.
I said, run.
Run. Granted. Whee! Flies back outside. Okay, now we're back outside in the tall grass.
No.
Oh, we get a
out of here.
speeder.
Keep running. We'll
And I
jump to
think-
anywhere else if the ship's even there.
Yeah, I cut out when I saw it before too. So that is the end of that video. I think that is actually where we are going to stop. I won't show you guys everything, but I did get to see maybe a few more extra minutes of footage. But I think that should give you, like I said, both an idea of the presentation style, the levels. You know, it looks like some areas might be more open than others. So you got some like specific mission areas, and you got some kind of open environments that you can explore. You have stealth, you have ranged combat, you have ship combat, quests. You know, like I said, wandering around like big environments looking for quests and talking to people. Um, Good variety of things. You got the speeder bike there, which I was curious to see more, but we didn't really get to see. We just know that it's there. But as far as accessibility goes, this list that we're looking at here on this webpage, it looks really good. There may be some, you know, maybe some holes in it here and there. But as far as like compared to even something like God of War or Spider-Man, you know, it looks like it could be at least on that level of accessibility just by reading into this list of accessibility on this page. So we'll see. But one thing that I would love to see, and especially, you know, if you're invited to these types of remote events, again, thank you to Ubisoft for inviting me to get an early sneak peek at this remote preview event. One thing that would be really cool is even if they had like one video, have one video divided into different clips to where, you know, you're seeing the cutscenes and the audio during gameplay with the different size text for subtitles and the direction indicators and stuff. Show a little bit of the menu narration so we can kind of hear it. Show a little bit of how, because like I said, I'm very curious to know how like the waypoint marker thing works. So like where it's supposed to tell you what direction and how far away your waypoints are for your quests and mission objectives. Show a little clip of high contrast, because, you know, again, it's great. Don't get me wrong. It's awesome that we got to see all these various types of gameplay, but and again, thank you to Ubisoft for inviting, you know, not just your typical mainstream games press to this remote event. I very much appreciate that they invited people with disabilities like myself. I don't know who else got invited, and so, you know, we might see some coverage from other disabled creators as well. But thank you for inviting us and making us a part of this event. But yeah, I would love to see like maybe one type of video clip if we're going to do video clips like this. You know, have one showing the high contrast, the menu narration, the audio cues, the chase cam, the pursuit cam, the different things, just to kind of give an idea like, oh yeah, that's how these are kind of going to be implemented. Just kind of a sneak peek of the accessibility that they've already disclosed in this interview and article. But with that, I am going to wrap it up here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, found it helpful. Every time I see this now, I'm more hyped, and I really want to play it, because not just for the game itself, because it looks fun and the story looks interesting, but because we are seemingly going to have quite a good amount of accessibility at launch. So thanks again for watching. Give the video a like if you did. Follow me on Twitter at BGFH79, twitch.tv/illegally-cited, illegally-cited.com, and right here on YouTube. Until next time, I will chat with everybody again later.